Okay. So your average non-perfuming beta male is not going to know much about the terminology surrounding colognes or perfuming, forgive me, and everything about perfuming. So I'm going to give you guys a little crash course on the terminology and everything surrounding this stuff. Eau de toilette, right? If you see that on a cologne, eau de toilette, eau de parfum, all has to do with the concentration of the cologne. Eau de toilette is around like 10% fragrance, 90% alcohol. Eau de parfum, getting a little stinkier, is around 15% fragrance, 85% alcohol. Parfum, real stinky stuff. If you want to make people drool in a mile radius, you put on a parfum. Around 20% concentration of fragrance, a whole 80% alcohol. So real stinky stuff. Let's talk about the notes. The notes of perfuming. Notes is basically like the individual smells that you'll get. Like, let's just say like the smell of grass. That would be a note. Individual smells, basically. Top notes are the shortest lived notes in the fragrance. They'll like, you spray it on, last like 20 minutes at most, maybe, who knows. And then the mid notes, they're basically the bridge between the top and bottom notes. But the middle notes are really important. You want to know why? They help to extend the projection of the cologne, meaning that people can smell you from further away, which is pretty cool, and further away for longer. The top notes people are going to smell really good because they have the shortest lifetime, which means they burn the most, basically. And then base notes is the longest lasting notes in a fragrance. Those ones stick around, add lifetime to your perfume, and make it last really long and whatever. So when it comes to actually learning perfumery and being the master of it, this big baby is taking his first steps. I'm not up there with the names of Tom Ford or Guerlain or Jean Paul Gaultier. I will be one day though. You're gonna see me in the news. That's right. But when it comes to like learning perfumery, there's 3 steps that I have totally made up on my own because I'm so smart and genius and stuff. Step 1, learning your raw materials. That's what I'm on right now. It's I don't know. It's kind of cool because you get your first like hit of discovery, right? So you're learning all these cool raw materials and stuff. You're smelling the smells. Just really taking everything in. I have 30 raw materials and I've gotten through 5 of them so far. But get this, later today, I'm gonna learn 10 more. The process for learning the raw materials takes about 8 to 9 days. 9 days if you're beginning and you just did your first 5 raw materials a little while back. And 8 days if you're already kind of like super cool and good at this stuff and you're really good at it. And you're doing 10 later today and stuff. And yeah, I'm gonna learn 10 more raw materials and I'll be halfway through the bunch of raw materials that I have. Now, the process for learning raw materials, let's get to it. Let's hop to it. Step 1, you need to evaluate your raw materials by diluting the scent first with either 10% or 20% or 1%, depending on how powerful it is. Some scents are so powerful that you can't smell them. You literally just can't smell them until they're like diluted enough, which is kind of cool. Like, shoot, I wish I was that powerful. Think about that. I actually don't want to be that smelly. That's really bad. Yeah. Evaluating your raw materials. Basically, take the scent strip, put it in the diluted raw material of 10% or so, and you smell it upon initial dipping, right? And then I wait 2 hours after that, smell it again. Oh, man, I forgot to say. Whenever you smell it, whenever you smell the scent strip of the diluted raw material, you're going to want to like notate it and like document it. What does it smell like? What does it smell like? Anisaldehyde smells like purple cleaning solution. I don't like that one. Nasty stuff. But yeah, basically you're gonna note it every time that you do the little smelly stuff with the scent strip. And you're gonna do that for about 8 days, right? What I do is I'll do one sniff after the initial dipping, another sniff 2 hours after the initial dipping, and then one the day after that. So that's like day 2, one day 3, day 4, skip day 5 because you're just like wasting your time at that rate, and then do day 6, then skip day 7, and then do day 8 and day 9. If the scent lasts longer than like a week or so, you got a base note. Less than a week, you got a mid note. Less than a day, you got a base note. That's how it works. It's pretty cool stuff. And yeah, for every smell, you just write it down. What is it? What does it smell like? You know. And then part 2, which I've yet to reach. One second, guys. Bear with me here. So step 2 of learning perfumery. Accords and bases. This is when you really get into the, not really, but when you start getting into the creative aspects of things. You can start mixing things together like some kind of mad scientist. I got a little beaker here, you know, it's professional. It's cool stuff. Yeah, you start mixing your little potions, your little love potions together. Actually, not yet. You don't get to that part yet. That's like step 3. Yeah, basically, you make the accords and the bases, you learn them on step 2. Step 2, ew, boring, kinda. You don't really dip into the creative stuff because you're already following in somebody's footsteps. So I just, what's the word? Decepticon myself or something, I don't know. Stage 3 of learning perfumery, right? This is when you get to the cool creative aspect of it. The nice part about creating perfumes is that it's like a creative outlet, right? You go off of what, like based off of what your sniffer smells. That's how you create perfumes. You use your intuition, like, this smells like purple cleaning juice. Maybe I'll put this with the other scent that smells purple, kind of deal, you know? And it's really neat. You just use your intuition to make perfumes and colognes and whatever, which is just amazing, you know? All right, but I think we got all the boring stuff out of the way. All the stupid jargon and whatever. Time to get down to business. I'm going to show you guys the meth lab. This is what everyone's been waiting for. Check this out. Oh, look at this. It's glorious. Behold. That scale right there, you see that? That's a scientific scale right there. That goes down to 0.000. It's amazing. It's incredible. Most of this equipment is from the perfume. What is it called again? Fragrance Forge. Yeah. Pretty cool stuff. He hooked me up good, that Sam Macer. Actually, yeah, I got this. I technically got this from another guy named Sam. So I guess this is kind of like destined for us. For us Sams and stuff. It's birds of a feather or whatever. And yeah. We got a lot going on here. Look at all that. That's all the raw materials. This, ethanol. You can create fires with that stuff, by the way. Pretty cool. These are all the raw materials diluted. These are all the dilutions that I've made. The big book of stinky stuff right there. That is just in case I do make a lot of spills. Not in this particularly because I got like a surgeon hand. It's not really showing it there, but I got a surgeon hand when it comes to this kind of stuff. But oftentimes when I'm like pulling back my hand from something, I'll hit something because I'm kind of clumsy. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, here it is, guys. Lo and behold. Okay. raw materials. This is where the notes come from. Basically, the concentrated smelly stuff, right? I'm gonna show off one of them to you guys. Labdanum resinoid. This thing is highly concentrated. So if you were to like open this cap per se and smell it just straight up, you just put your big sniffer to the bottle and just start huffing, it would overpower your nose really bad, and you'll get something called olfactory fatigue, right? Olfactory fatigue causes your sense of smell to be like damaged for a little while and like warped. So it'll smell different or like worse, and you won't smell it as much. That's why you need to dilute the fragrance. The usual dilution of a raw material is 10%. Some are really strong, like almond prilosine. Well, like it'll mess you up good if you put your nose to that stuff. Probably like smelling salts. Almond prilosine, just almond, it smells like almond. You need to do a 1% like dilution of it, meaning 1% raw material or fragrant raw material, whatever, and 99% alcohol. Real stinky stuff. So yeah, that's basically what raw materials are. We're gonna move on to accords now. Accords, a combination of raw materials, which, when taken together, create a smell perceived as more than simply the sum of its parts. Pretty cool stuff, right? Think of it like music, you know? Anybody playing a guitar or a piano? I don't know. I tried playing guitar, it didn't work out so hot. But when you're playing a chord, it's multiple notes, right? So it's like you're playing multiple notes, and it sounds good. It sounds cool. It's similar to perfuming. You know, you're smelling multiple like raw materials or notes at the same time. It smells pretty good. It smells unique, cool, whatever. One way to actually test for an accord, or like just like smell an accord without really making them and like expending your materials, is to take 2 dilutions of a raw material, right? Let's take ethyl linalool, really cool name, and orange oil 5 times, right? You take 2 scent strips. Get those for you guys. You take 2 scent strips, dip one there, dip the other one there, and then you let the alcohol smell you let the alcohol alcohol smell run its course, and then you kind of put them together, smell them like that. That's how you test for an accord. So just a little like tip for you guys, because I know all you guys are gonna get into perfuming, obviously. It's just one of those like hobbies that really jug the huzz. Like oftentimes I'll have to shoo away women from my little basement like window and stuff. They're trying to crawl through and get to me and stuff. I have security here. They watch over me. They're my guardian angels. But yeah, basically that's what an accord is. And bases, right? So once you think you got an accord, you can make a base out of it. Basically, you mix let's grab these guys again. So linalool, ethyl, blah blah blah, and this guy, same. What you would do is you would mix the juice from this one with the juice from that one at a certain concentration. So it would still be like 10% fragrance, raw material, and then like 90% alcohol. But get this, it's like 5% of each of these for the fragrance, raw material. And yeah, you just let that mix together, you got yourself an accord. But once you fix the proportions, like let's say of the fragrance raw material, the 10% fragrance raw material, you want to use like 7.5% ethyl linalool and orange oil. You use 2.5% orange oil. So if you fix the proportions like 7.5 linalool, 2.5 orange oil, Now you have a base because you fix the proportions and stuff. You mix them together and it's cool and it's a base. But a base is basically a reproducible formula for the accord, kind of. I don't know. Bases are weird. It's like really weird describing them. I don't like it. But yeah, one common accord or base, you could say, is labdanum absolute and vanillin. That creates what's known as an amber accord. Sounds pretty cool, right? That's the only accord I know. That's the only one. What a shame, right? But yeah, pretty cool stuff.